A man of royal blood faces legal trouble. A nameless student is beaten in the street. 2 countries, 2 stories, but one chilling question: is justice being applied by 2 different standards? In recent days, public opinion in Britain has been shaken by new developments surrounding Prince Andrew. Not only because of the allegations and the reopening of past records, but because of how the royal family has chosen to respond, by keeping a deliberate distance. In an official statement, King Charles III avoided any personal language. He did not say, "my brother." Instead, he used cold, formal wording, as if referring to a distant official rather than a member of his own family. This small detail carries heavy meaning. It signals a clear line: Andrew is Andrew, the monarchy is the monarchy. No shared responsibility, no shared scandal. Why such emotional restraint? Because the royal family understands one harsh truth: in the age of social media and collapsing public trust, even the appearance of protection or favoritism can drag the entire institution down. Past controversies have already weakened its image. Any sign of softness now could turn a personal scandal into an existential crisis for the monarchy itself. The British government has also been drawn into the storm, announcing that further documents will be released regarding Andrew's appointment as trade envoy in 2001. This is not merely about the past. It is a test. Can decisions once made behind closed doors be exposed to public scrutiny? Meanwhile, in Sydney, a very different story has ignited outrage of a more immediate kind. A university student was attacked in broad daylight. Not a single blow, but knocked down, stamped on, and assaulted while the attacker shouted slurs targeting religion and sexual orientation. The injuries were severe: a broken nose, damage to the eye socket, and lasting psychological trauma. Yet the legal outcome shocked many. The attacker received a 9-month suspended sentence and no criminal record. For large sections of the public, this is no longer a technical legal matter. It feels like a dangerous message, that violence motivated by hatred can be punished lightly. The question quickly follows: if the victim had been someone else, in different circumstances, would the sentence have been the same? From London to Sydney, 2 very different cases point to the same disturbing idea: 2-tier justice. On one side, a man from a privileged world, where every word from the palace is carefully chosen to prevent scandal from spreading. On the other, an ordinary citizen, whose suffering appears insufficient to trigger a truly serious punishment. In Britain, the fear is that the monarchy is seen as protecting itself from moral accountability. In Australia, the fear is that the justice system is signaling that extreme violence may be treated leniently. Different fears, but a shared consequence: when the law is no longer perceived as equal, public trust collapses. More striking still is the perceived silence from human rights and LGBTQIA+ advocacy groups in the Sydney case. Organizations that usually respond forcefully to hate-based attacks have, this time, appeared unusually quiet. That silence has been interpreted harshly. Is the defense of victims becoming selective? For the British monarchy, the danger goes far beyond one individual scandal. It strikes at a deeper issue: is the royal family truly subject to the same moral standards as everyone else? In the past, monarchy survived through symbolism and reverence. In modern society, that is no longer enough. People demand transparency, they demand fairness, and they demand a visible separation between power and the law. In Australia, the Sydney attack raises a different warning: if hate-driven violence is not punished firmly, it risks becoming precedent. And precedent is always more dangerous than an isolated crime. 2 stories, 2 nations, 1 shared test. Will the state defend principle, or bend justice under political and social pressure? On one side, a monarchy choosing cold language to shield itself from scandal. On the other, a court delivering a sentence that leaves the public questioning the value of justice. And at the point where these paths cross, the most unsettling question emerges: is justice still blind to status, religion, and sexual orientation? Or is it looking very closely, and choosing what it wants to see? Open ending. The files linked to Prince Andrew remain unresolved. The victim in Sydney must live with the consequences of a brutal attack. And society is left with a deeper anxiety: when the law no longer feels fair, where does justice truly exist? Perhaps these are only 2 isolated cases. Or perhaps they are signs of something more dangerous: a world where justice no longer means the same thing for everyone. And if that is true, then the greatest threat is not a prince or an attacker, but the slow collapse of the one thing that holds society together: trust.